Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Drew's Michael lie causes Willow to lose her children. General Hospital spoilers foreshadow some shocking developments in Port Charles. The ABC soap recently released its preview trailer for the week of May 12th to 16th, and fans should brace themselves for some explosions. Rewinding a bit, the Friday, May 2nd show included some intriguing drama. Willow Corinthos and Sasha Corbin got into another furious argument. Willow said during the ladies' spat that she went to a burn healing clinic in Germany to see Michael Corinthos, but her estranged husband blocked her visit. Later in the program, Sasha crossed paths with Jason Morgan, the same person who urged Willow to meet Michael at the Baden-Baden facility, and then shocked him with the news that Michael had rejected her down. There's a strong chance Jason will get to the bottom of things by calling Michael or paying him a brief visit in Germany to ask him why he chose to turn away the mother of his children. However, fans know that Michael did not do that. Rather, Drew Kane paid off a clinic facilitator to inform Willow that Michael did not want to see her. When Jason discovers the truth, may this lead to Jason and Michael agreeing that Willow's parental rights should be terminated, especially given the nurse's decision to stay by Drew's side following his ketamine scandal? Both men may be concerned about Wiley and Amelia Corinthos' safety at this time. Fast forward to current week, when Willow will eventually be served with legal documents. It appears that she is at work, therefore may she be served with documents in which Michael officially takes Wiley and Amelia away from her? The children could be visiting Monica Quartermain while Willow is working, adding to the nurse's shock and terror. Both Michael and Jason may have had enough of Willow's shenanigans. Jason has done his best to bring some normalcy into Willow's life. First, he assisted her in reaching a strong deal with the Quartermains, which allowed Willow and the kids to stay in their home on the Q's land. The sole caveat was that she could not spend time with Drew in the house she formerly shared with Michael because Drew was barred from the Quartermain estate, a stipulation that was broken few days after the arrangement. Then, despite everyone's advice to avoid moving in with the cutthroat congressman, Willow did the opposite and moved her and her children in with Drew and Scout Quartermain, a move that was not only too soon for Wiley and Amelia, but also for poor Scout. Willow and Drew appear to prioritize their own demands over the well-being of the children. Once Jason learns the truth from Michael, they may not understand Drew was behind it, and instead believe Willow is completely out of control and is lying to make her husband appear terrible. This could prompt both men to act quickly, requesting Diane Miller to submit a petition, and returning the children to the Quartermain mansion or Carly Spencer's custody. However, Jason may probe more and discover the facilitator who was paid off by Drew. This may also push Michael and Jason to act quickly and get the kids out of Drew's house as soon as possible. It will be incredibly unsettling to learn how far Drew went to restrict Willow from talking to Michael. According to General Hospital spoilers, Willow's world is going to be turned upside down by this court decision, so viewers will have to tune in to see what sort of turmoil the mother will face in the coming days. Despite the fact that life gets busy, many of us have dreams of doing something else. Maybe it's taking that once-in-a-lifetime trip, starting something new, or even climbing into an airplane cockpit and learning to fly. No, this is not for you. Daniel Goddard of General Hospital has been wanting to do this for a long time, and the opportunity has now arrived. The ABC soap star released a video on Instagram of himself piloting a small plane and expressed gratitude to his wife for making his ambition of learning to fly a reality. "I love you, Rachel." Fans thought it was awesome of Goddard's wife to make his wish come true, with one in particular, Michelle, saying, "That's fantastic. You have a great wife. My husband thinks it's a great feeling, but I'll pass. But it looks great on you." And based on the actor's expression as he smiled for the camera, we can guess this isn't the last time he takes flight. Those who follow Goddard are aware that he enjoys connecting with followers via video messages, and in case you missed it, his son Sebastian recently impersonated his father and produced an amusing video. So, I was going to post a video today and check in with you to see if you had a good day, and if you managed to tune in to see Professor Dalton's first episode on General Hospital, Goddard said. He then continued, "The moment I told Sebastian that I was going to do this, he recorded a parody video of how my videos come across. Look it up." General Hospital spoilers hint that Willow Corinthos is going to face a shocking revelation, And we can't think it has anything to do with anyone other than Drew Kane. Is she on the verge of discovering that her admirer has banned her visit to her husband Michael Corinthos in Germany? Willow told Sasha Gilmore Corbin on May 9 that Michael refused to see her in the hospital while he was recovering from severe burns. In turn, Sasha informed Jason Morgan. Willow receives heartbreaking news between May 12 and 16. And here's what you need to know to stay informed. Willow has bad news. Jason was stunned Willow was turned down, and he appeared skeptical that Michael would do such a thing. Jason recommended the visit, but he would not have done so solely to set her up for failure. Jason knows Michael is aware that Sasha is pregnant with his child, thus it makes no sense for him to refuse a visit to the other mother of his children. We anticipate that Jason will now explore the problem and get to the bottom of things. Will Jason find out that Michael was never notified Willow wanted to meet him? Jason smells a cover-up. If dishonest Drew bribed a clinic employee, Stone Cold will find out. All Jason needs to do is offer more money to entice the offender to sing like a bird. If Drew was complicit in a cover-up, the truth will be revealed, surprising Willow once more. If things continue as they appear, Michael might phone Willow and assure her that he did not deny her access. Willow traveled to Germany to talk about their children, and Michael values family. Will Drew be outed? Spoiler alert. Willow's heart gets crushed on May 14, and only Drew is capable of doing so. Tell us, GH fans, do you believe Drew committed a mistake that will haunt him? Drew's Michael lie causes Willow to lose her children. Drew's lie to Michael weaves an elaborate web of deceit and betrayal, with far-reaching ramifications, particularly for Willow, who loses custody of her children. Willow's emotional grief is tremendous, as she confronts the reality of being separated from the people she cares about the most. Drew's decision to alter the facts, whether for self-preservation, misplaced loyalty, or recklessness, sets off a chain of circumstances that renders Willow vulnerable and powerless. The falsehood, once uncovered, not only shatters trust amongst the people involved, but it also casts Willow in a negative light, making it nearly impossible for her to reclaim custody without a painful legal and emotional battle. At the heart of this tragedy is the question of morality. How far one is willing to go to defend their own interests, even if it means harming others. Drew's actions demonstrate a deep-seated selfishness, as he prioritizes his personal demands over the well-being of Willow and her children. The deception, which may have begun as a temporary solution to a quarrel, grows out of control, wreaking havoc. When Michael discovers the deceit, he reacts with natural rage, feeling betrayed by someone he trusted. His rage, however, is diverted onto Willow, who becomes the unintentional victim of Drew's schemes. Willow's difficulty is exacerbated by the fact that she was unaware of Drew's deception, making her punishment all the more unjust. The legal system, which is often cold and brutal, fails to account for the complexities of personal relationships, leaving Willow to suffer the brunt of the consequences. Her children, caught in the midst of this chaos, are denied their mother's love and direction, exacerbating the tragedy. Willow suffers an incredible emotional toll. She is forced to confront not just the loss of her children, but also the erosion of confidence in those closest to her. The fallout from Drew's deception causes Willow to reconsider her relationships and her own judgment. How could someone she trusted so much betray her in such a basic way? The pain of losing her children is worsened by the realization that it could have been prevented if Drew had chosen honesty over lies. Willow's battle to retrieve her children becomes a test of perseverance, as she must negotiate a judicial system that frequently favors the existing quo, while also proving her worth as a mother despite the false narrative that has been manufactured against her. Meanwhile, Drew is left to deal with the consequences of his actions, albeit whether he feels genuine sorrow is unclear. His deception, which began as a seemingly minor act of self-preservation, has now affected the lives of many individuals, causing scars that may never fully heal. The harm to his friendship with Michael is likely irreversible, and his reputation in their social circle is forever ruined. The gravity of his deception serves as a warning tale. Lies, no matter how well-intended they appear in the moment, have the capacity to destroy lives. Willow's path to atonement is long and riddled with challenges. She must not only prove her innocence, but also her strength and dedication to her children in the face of immense circumstances. The emotional pressure of the circumstance wears her down, putting her mental and emotional strength to the test. Despite this, her love for her children remains unwavering, motivating her fight to reunite with them. Finally, the story of Drew's lie and its tragic impact on Willow serves as a stark warning of the fragility of trust and the far-reaching implications of deception. Relationships are built on honesty, and when that foundation is undermined, the consequences may be disastrous. Willow's death is more than simply a personal tragedy. It is a cautionary tale about the risks of manipulation and the value of honesty in all facets of life. The drama in Port Charles never stops, and the recent developments involving Drew Cain, Willow Tate, and Michael Corinthos are no exception. According to recent teasers, Drew may have taken an extreme step by preventing Willow's attempt to visit Michael, triggering a chain reaction that could eventually backfire on him spectacularly. The tension between these characters has been growing for some time, and if these reports are true, an explosive encounter could be on the horizon. Drew Cain has always been a complex guy, combining his moral compass with his strong protective instincts. However, his recent activities have caused concerns, particularly his involvement in Michael and Willow's lives. Willow, who has been experiencing intense emotional turmoil, has leaned greatly on Michael for comfort. Their partnership, however tested, remains a source of stability for both of them. So when Drew reportedly interferes with Willow's attempt to meet Michael, fans are left questioning how such a gesture could possibly be justified. One argument holds that Drew believes he is acting in Willow's best interests. Perhaps he believes that separating her from Michael would protect her from future sorrow, especially if there are unresolved problems or secrets lying beneath the surface. Drew has always been protective of those he loves about, although his methods can be questionable. If he has truly prevented Willow from meeting Michael without a solid reason, this may be interpreted as overstepping limits, resulting in dire consequences. Another perspective to explore is whether Drew is concealing something. Port Charles has a history of unexpected revelations, and Drew may be purposefully stopping Willow and Michael from interacting, because he is afraid of what would come out if they reconcile. Could there be a shocking secret that Drew is desperate to keep hidden? If that's the case, his attempts to regulate the situation may simply exacerbate its vulnerability. After all, mysteries in Port Charles rarely remain hidden for long. Willow, for her part, is not one to give up quickly. Despite her soft nature, she has demonstrated incredible courage in the face of tragedy. If she realizes Drew has been manipulating her access to Michael, she may demand answers, and she will not accept half-truths. Willow is fiercely loyal to Michael, and any perceived threat to their relationship will almost certainly prompt her to take a position. If Drew's interference is revealed, he may face not only Willow's anger but also Michael's fury. Michael Corinthos has never tolerated outside meddling in his personal life, especially with Willow. If he discovers that Drew has been preventing her from visiting him, he will definitely demand an explanation, and may retaliate. Michael's connections and influence in Port Charles make him a strong opponent, and Drew may soon regret his actions. Drew may find himself on the wrong side of a very strong opponent, as the Corinthos family is infamous for holding grudges for extended periods of time. This circumstance may have far-reaching consequences beyond personal issues. If Drew's actions are discovered, his professional reputation may suffer. As a pivotal figure in multiple high-risk companies, any controversy might have far-reaching ramifications. Business partners and allies may start to distrust his judgment, resulting in professional failures. In a place like Port Charles, where personal and professional lives are inextricably linked, one error can set off a chain reaction of chaos. Meanwhile, other Port Charles players may take advantage of the unrest. Nina Reeves, for example, has never shied away from stirring the pot, particularly when it comes to Michael and Willow. If she learns of Drew's meddling, she may take advantage of it, further complicating the situation. Similarly, Carly Corinthos, who has a checkered history with Drew, could take sides in the battle, adding gasoline to the flames. Willow has suffered a significant emotional toll. After everything she's been through, health problems, familial betrayals, and personal losses, being separated from Michael may feel like the ultimate straw. Drew's actions may push Kate to the breaking point, causing her to make decisions that irrevocably alter the direction of their relationships. General Hospital teasers indicate that a preview video has been released for the week of May 12, 2025. It shows Lulu Spencer discovering the truth about Giovanni Gio Palmieri. Natalia Ramirez meets with Jen Sidwell. Additionally, Willow Tate Corinthos is served. Continue reading and let's discuss what's coming up on the ABC soap show. Sonny Corinthos' decision. The preview video starts with Sidwell beaming at Natalia. Although these two are ex-partners, they aren't really fond of each other. Sidwell is flashing his ex-wife a disturbing smile at the beginning of the video. Sonny Corinthos versus Jason Morgan. As they face each other, Sonny discusses Sidwell's idea with Jason Morgan. Jason does not think it is a good idea. However, Sonny is really considering accepting Sidwell's offer. The mob boss tells Jason that Sidwell is not his first pick, but it is their only chance to leave the enterprise. Lulu Spencer's powerful intel. General Hospital spoilers for the week of May 12 indicate that Lulu discovers Gio is Brooklyn Quartermain and Dante Falconeri's secret love child. Carly Spencer had already cautioned Lulu not to endanger everyone's lives. However, Lulu simply couldn't quit digging. Carly asks who she thinks BLQ and Dante's child is, and of course Lulu says Gio. Carly may be horrified, but she may also continue to suggest that Lulu step away. However, Lulu will be unable to do so, no matter how many lives she destroys. Week of May 12, 2025. Fans will also see Jason in a scene with Tracy Quartermain. Tracy was extremely concerned and shaken as BLQ told her about the covert adoption. Tracy then asks Jason to find him. Therefore, Jason's next objective must be to locate BLQ and Dante's son. What people don't realize is that the child is a lot closer than they think. Also, Willow's darkest nightmare comes true. The promo video shows her facing someone who says, "You have been served." Willow had been extremely concerned about losing her children. Following Drew Kane's disgrace, she decided to believe in him. However, the scandal became viral. So Willow, are you ready to lose your children? Maurice Bernard of General Hospital recently hosted Laura Lee Bell of The Young and the Restless on his State of Mind podcast. The two talked about how difficult it is for parents with Alzheimer's disease. Discussing Alzheimer's. After the first welcomes on Sunday, Maurice and Laura Lee talked about being on TV shows. Maurice reminded the Y&R actress that his father had died from the sickness. However, he developed pancreatic cancer, which killed him quickly. So he didn't suffer. In some ways, the GH star was relieved for his mother that she wouldn't have to watch him degenerate. Laura Lee Bell, on the other hand, did not have the protection from her father, William J. Bell, the daytime drama producer. Laura Lee described her father as a fun guy and easy to please. She also mentioned that his illness was diagnosed as dementia, rather than Alzheimer's, which sounded worse. Throughout his life, her father had to remember both cast and real names, which might be difficult when socializing. When her father developed dementia, he became silent for months but continued to smile. Never angry but confused. Maurice Bernard heard Laura Lee Bell describe it as a huge gift, because she never saw him angry. Nonetheless, her mother had to be aware of his activities. Laura went on, "I know my mom had to deal with him waking up in the middle of the night and getting dressed and walking out the door, taking the car keys." The real-life Christine Cricket Williams told Maurice that her father would kind of have a little bit of a blank stare and would be led around. However, he didn't say much or anything really. When he saw photos of anniversaries, he seemed to have a glassy look, but he never got angry or demanded to know who the people with him were. The blank stars in TV. Laura Lee recalled about how her father watched movies all day. He'd talk about persons and stories, but he wasn't exactly sure who he was talking about. Laura Lee was glad because William J. Bell seemed to receive some consolation from watching movies. Although The Young and the Restless star refused to give medical advice, she did mention how sometimes things would come back to her father. For example, a Frank Sinatra song. Sonny Corinthos, an actor, claimed that his father occasionally liked and responded to music, and would even do a little dance. According to General Hospital teasers, Drew Kane intends to continue blackmailing Dr. Portia Robinson, rather than punishing her for her role in drugging him with ketamine. This could be because Drew has more sinister plans in the works, which he will most likely involve Portia in. This could entail framing his aunt, Tracy Quartermain, as Drew intends to accuse her of drugging him. Drew Kane continues to blackmail Portia Robinson. Drew is still withholding information about Heather Weber's test results from Portia, so he continues to rely on Portia to carry out his orders. Drew absolutely despises his aunt and does not trust her. Tracy has promised Drew that if the referendum vote on the peers passes, he will be able to reclaim the Quartermaine name as part of their plan to bring down Sonny Corinthos. Drew would need leverage to force Tracy to do what he wants, but he may simply want to bring her down permanently. Drew would tell Portia that she needed her to say that Tracy bought off Brad Cooper and hired Jacinda to drug him. Brad supplied her with ketamine. Portia would be surprised, of course, but would have little choice but to comply with Drew's plan. Portia Robinson confirms Drew Kane's story. Drew calls a news conference and requests that Portia attend. Drew would inform the reporters that he had learned the truth. His Aunt Tracy was the one who set him up and had the escort drug him with ketamine, and she was supported by Brad Cooper. Drew might make it appear that Tracy paid him off because Brad is long gone. Drew could concoct evidence, and Tracy would be surprised if Max Scorpio brought her down to the PCPD for questioning. Tracy Quartermaine is charged with the crime. Tracy would be formally charged with Drew's drugging and arrested following hard questioning from Mac, as well as the proof that Drew fabricated. Drew would be thrilled that his wishes are being fulfilled. Meanwhile, Portia would experience intense guilt and be unable to tell the truth in order to save Tracy because her medical license and freedom were at stake. The world of General Hospital is never devoid of unexpected developments, and the most recent spoilers indicate that Drew Kane is going to take extraordinary measures to clear his name by framing Tracy Quartermaine for the recent drugging incident. In a shocking change of events, Drew is set to approach Portia Robinson and persuade her to help him with his project. This subplot offers high-stakes drama, moral quandaries, and potentially disastrous implications for numerous important personalities in Port Charles. Drew's choice to attack Tracy comes after weeks of confusion over his strange drugging. With his reputation and freedom on the line, he appears eager to go to any length to transfer the blame onto someone else. Tracy, known for her sharp tongue and manipulative ways, makes a convincing scapegoat in Drew's eyes. However, persuading Portia, a recognized doctor who values ethics, to join in such a deceptive plot will be difficult. Drew's showdown with Kate will undoubtedly be dramatic, full of emotional appeals and hidden threats as he attempts to persuade her to compromise her ideals for his sake. Portia's engagement raises serious issues regarding her objectives. Is she assisting Drew out of genuine concern for his well-being, or does she have personal motivations for wanting Tracy out of the picture? Given Portia's tangled history with the Quartermaines, particularly given her daughter Trina's ties to the family, her decision could be motivated by personal grudges rather than professional loyalty. If she agrees to help Drew, it might be a watershed moment for her character, propelling her into morally ambiguous area that may alienate her from people closest to her. Meanwhile, Tracy Quartermaine is unaware of the maelstrom developing around her. As one of Port Charles's most powerful matriarchs, she is no stranger to scandal, but being accused of drugging could be one of her most difficult tasks yet. If Drew and Portia's scheme is successful, Tracy may suffer legal consequences, familial treachery, and irreversible harm to her corporate reputation. Tracy, on the other hand, does not give up easily. If she discovers the conspiracy against her, she is likely to retaliate with every resource at her disposal, paving the way for an explosive encounter. The consequences of this strategy could go well beyond Drew, Portia, and Tracy. Other characters such as Curtis Ashford, Michael Quartermaine, and perhaps Carly Corinthos may become involved in the aftermath. Curtis, with his investigation skills, may discover the truth, leaving him to choose between revealing Portia's complicity and sheltering her for the sake of their shared history. Michael, stuck between familial loyalty, may be split between protecting Tracy and doubting her culpability. Carly, who has always been passionately protective of people she loves, may support Drew. But will she approve of his methods once she discovers the entire scope of his deception? This plot also allows for more in-depth analysis of Drew's character. Once seen as a heroic figure, his desire to frame an innocent person implies that a darker, more desperate side has emerged. Is this a transitory mistake in judgment caused by anxiety, or has his previous experience fundamentally altered him? Viewers may soon see Drew's moral compass deteriorate as he becomes more merciless in his pursuit for self-preservation. Portia's participation in the scheme provides an opportunity for major character growth. Her prospective involvement in Drew's plot, given her reputation for compassion and integrity, could herald a significant shift in her attitude. Will remorse engulf her, or will she make more calculated decisions? Her relationships with Curtis, Trina, and even her hospital colleagues may suffer if her acts are revealed, perhaps leading to estrangement and professional penalties. Tracy believes that being framed may either break her or make her stronger. If she is publicly accused, she may become ostracized, with her own family questioning her. Tracy has, however, weathered numerous controversies, frequently emerged stronger. If she can prove her innocence, she may use her experience to strengthen her position, punishing those who have harmed her in the process. Her relationship with the other Quartermaines, particularly Ned, Olivia, and Brooklyn, could change radically depending on how they respond to the accusations. This tale could have far-reaching consequences for Port Charles, in addition to the local players. The legal repercussions alone might bring characters like Diane Miller and Martin Gray into the picture, as they handle the possible courtroom drama. The media frenzy around such a high-profile accusation may potentially pull in reporters like Cody Bell, as well as meddling from Valentine Cassadine, who is usually on top of the town's issues. At its foundation, this narrative delves into themes of trust, treachery, and the extent people will go to when forced into a corner. Drew's decision to frame Tracy is a desperate one, and it could cost him more than his freedom if the truth comes out. Portia's engagement tests her ethical bounds, prompting viewers to wonder if even the most principled persons may be influenced by pressure. Tracy, whether guilty or innocent in this case, serves as a warning that no one in Port Charles is genuinely immune from being a target. As the story progresses, fans may expect passionate confrontations, unexpected alliances, and shocking revelations. Will Drew and Portia's strategy work? Or will Tracy outmaneuver them? And if the strategy fails, who else will be caught in the crossfire? One thing is certain. General Hospital is presenting yet another captivating narrative that will keep fans on the edge of their chairs. General Hospital Preview Week of May 12th. Willow served Lulu's Geo-Discovery, Jason's Search, and Natalia's Sin. The week of May 12th on General Hospital promises to be full of drama, stunning disclosures, and emotional confrontations as the residents of Port Charles become themselves in new and ongoing conflicts. From legal battles to personal revelations, the stakes have never been greater. Willow served. Willow Corinthos finds herself in a difficult situation when she is served with legal documents, heralding the start of a contentious custody battle. With Michael determined to defend Wiley at all means, tensions between the Corinthos family and its foes reach a fever pitch. Willow, who is still recovering from her physical issues, must now deal with the emotional consequences of a conflict she did not expect. Will she and Michael be able to stand together, or will the pressure separate them? Meanwhile, Carly's protective instincts kick into overdrive as she plans their next move. But an unexpected twist could derail their entire strategy. Lulu's Geo-Discovery. Lulu Spencer Falconeri's world is turned upside down when she makes a terrible revelation about Geo. As she delves deeper into the mystery, she discovers truths that may have far-reaching ramifications for her family. With Dante by her side, Lulu must decide whether to confront the truth head-on or remain silent in order to protect people she loves. However, with the past emerging in unexpected ways, her decision may not be as straightforward as it appears. Meanwhile, Joe's genuine intentions are called into question, leading Lulu to wonder if she really knew him at all. Jason's Search. Jason Morgan's relentless pursuit of information leads him down a perilous path as he seeks for a missing ally. With time running out, he must navigate a web of lies and betrayal to discover the truth. His task pits him against both old and unforeseen enemies, putting his allegiance and willpower to the test. As the stakes rise, Jason is forced to consider who he can trust, and if the truth is worth the cost. Meanwhile, Sam becomes increasingly concerned for Jason's safety, but her attempts to interfere may only put him in danger. Natalia's Sin. Natalia's hidden secret is about to come to light when her history catches up with her in the most unexpected way. Her carefully crafted front begins to disintegrate under the weight of guilt, and those closest to her begin to mistrust her intentions. When an old acquaintance resurfaces, Natalia is forced to face the repercussions of her decisions. Will she come clean and seek redemption, or will she continue her deceit to protect herself?